All right, today we're going to talk about the installation of your projector to the actual PDS Plus Premier mount and how we're going to go about connecting that mount to the actual projector itself. I've opened my PDS Plus box, and inside the box I have the round bracket with what I call spider legs, 4 spider legs on it. I have the actual mounting bracket, which is ultimately going to connect to the projector mount kit. And then I have 2 of the smaller, I'll call them again, spider legs in the kit. Then I have the associated hardware, okay? They also provide you with directions, okay? We're not going to need the directions because that's what this video is for, okay? And we're going to start off by understanding what we're first going to do with this mounting bracket. The first thing that we're going to do with this mounting bracket is we're going to take off all the spider legs, and that's going to be step 1. So I'm going to unscrew these. This is a standard Phillips head screwdriver right here. All right, now that I have the bracket now separated from the 4 spider legs, I'm just going to set those spider legs aside. I want the spider legs off the bracket so I can orient the bracket correctly onto the projector itself. So now let me bring the projector in. I'm using a ViewSonic projector, just so you know. So it's an ultra short throw ViewSonic projector. I'm gonna flip it over. If you come in real close here, you'll see the mounting hardware. And there's basically 3 spots on this ViewSonic to mount the actual PDS Plus to the projector itself. So now that the projector's flipped over, I can take my bracket and I'm going to orientate it onto the projector so that I cover each and every hole and it's orientated straight on. All right, now that I've taken the spider legs off my bracket, okay, so as I just have the round bracket, I want to make sure that ultimately when I install this bracket, my hook, okay, is facing to the rear, okay? So you actually have the projection glass here, and then this hook is going to be facing toward the rear. So I don't want it this way, okay? I want it this way, okay? So again, make sure that hook faces to the rear. Now let's set that aside, and then let's locate the correct hardware to mount to the projector. So in the packets here, we have a variety of different screws. I've located the screw that I need. It's a relatively small screw for this ViewSonic. And just screw it in. Make sure it's the appropriate screw. Those are the screws you're going to utilize from the packet. So there's a variety of screws for all different types of projectors. The ViewSonic has a very small screw hole, so I've selected my screw. I've tested it. This is the screw I'm going to use. And now I can go ahead and connect up my spider legs. All right, in this example with the ViewSonic, I'm going to utilize 1, 2 of the longer spider legs and 1 of the short legs. And that's just because the 3 holes are not very far apart. So I'm going to first connect up the one of the smaller legs, and I'll connect that on this side of the projector. You see how the leg gets installed, okay? Not in reverse, but actually like so. So it's angled up, and then you could actually adjust the leveling on it to raise it or lower it if you have projector mount feet on the projector that you want to get above in terms of the mount itself. But this is exactly how the spider leg should be installed onto the projector. Now let's go and install the other 2, and in this case I'm using 2 of the longer legs on the other 2 bolts. Now remember, your kit ultimately comes with 6 legs. In this case, I'm just using 3. 2 of the longer legs and 1 shorter leg. So I'm actually, when I'm finished, I'm going to actually have 3 spider legs that I'm simply not using at all. And every projector is a little different in terms of this, where things are mounted. But anyway, I'm using I have the ViewSonic here, so I've got everything connected up. The next step is I have my bracket off. My hooks are going to face to the rear of the glass. So the glass is here. This is where your projection image is going to come out of. And just make sure, again, your hook faces to the rear. And now that these are on, I'm going to find 3 points that match up with the other side of the spider leg so that I can actually screw them in as well to the mount. So let's do that. And what I'm doing is, remember, I'm trying to line everything up so that it's exactly straight. We want this plate straight. So I'm just adjusting my legs here to make sure I've accomplished this. Okay, so now I have all 3 spider legs, the opposite side of that leg, ready to attach to the bracket. And then you can see on this video here, we'll line it up so that you can see that I can see each of those 3 screw holes now through the bracket, and now we'll actually mount it to the bracket itself. When I first took the mount out of the box, remember I had 4 spider legs connected to a round bracket. I took off those 4 legs and replaced them with 3. So actually I'm going to have now 1 screw still that I'm not going to use. So far I've got 3 spider legs that I'm not going to use and 1 extra screw. I'm going to take the 3 mounting points that I have with the screws I've taken out prior and just hand tighten these in. Okay, so now that they're all hand tightened, I can make any further adjustments I want just to make sure it's straight on, pretty much straight on. Again, my hooks are to the rear. Once that's done, now I can tighten them with the screwdriver. Now it's all set to be hung onto our mounting bracket. Let's look at our mounting bracket now. The mounting bracket comes together, okay? We're actually going to take this piece here, which is outlined in our projector mount kit video, and this is going to get bolted to that plate with 4 screws. Let's take this off. So there's 4 screws that we can utilize to take this and separate the 2. And again, these are just Phillips head screws on the side. So I'll unscrew these. And again, 4 Phillips head screws. Once you've taken off the 4 Phillips head screws, you're going to take off the 2 torque screws on either side as well. And then this is going to allow me to separate the 2 brackets. All right, so this is 1 torque screw here. That's going to get set aside. This is the other. And now my bracket is in 2 pieces right now. This portion of the bracket is actually what gets bolted to our projector mount kit. So you're going to have 4 of those bolts in your projector mount kit, which is going to bolt this to the T-plate in your projector mount kit. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it aside for a second. And then this guy right here is ultimately what connects the mount to the projector itself. So this, in essence, slides right into that slot, okay, and provides easy access on and off the projector mount kit. So this guy is ultimately the connection from your projector to your mount kit. All right, so we have separated the brackets from each other. And the reason for separating these two guys from each other is we're going to bolt this base piece onto our T-plate with our projector mount kit. So that's the next step. So let's then now bolt that with the 4 screws that have come with your projector mount kit, okay? So once I've hand screwed them in, I just then tighten each one down with the ratchet. All right, so now they're bolted onto our T-plate. Now what we're going to do is basically take our bracket that we've taken apart, the inner bracket, put that back on and reconnect it. And when we reconnect it, we're going to reconnect it with the torque screws. I'll flip it over, I'll grab my next torque screw and do the same thing on the other side. So now that I've got this bolted up, okay, the inner and the outer piece, and I've actually connected to my mounting T here, which is in your projector mount kit, we're going to slide it into our slot here. Once that's done, we're then going to take our 4 screws with the Phillips head, and we could just hand tighten them here, 2 on each side. So you'll see how we've got room to adjust forward and aft with the projector. And then once it slides onto the T-bar, the actual projector mount itself, it can slide left or right and be adjusted with this screw here holding it in place. So you have up or down, and then you have side to side once it's installed onto the actual T-bar itself. You can finalize screwing these in place. You can do that by hand because you may be adjusting your monitor, your projector up or down. And now, I'll just bring in the actual projector arm here for a second so you can kind of see how that connects up. All right, so I just brought my projector arm in here, and just to show you, this slides into the T here, and then we can adjust it and lock and hold it in place. But this is going to provide the up or down, and then if we want to slide it left or right, we can do that as well with the arm itself. But the projector arm simply slides into the T here, and we lock it in place. Now your projector is hung, facing your screen, and you could do, again, the left to right adjustment, the up or down. What's really important, make sure on your projector you're going to flip the image so it's upside down. That's going to be a setting on the projector itself. You're going to want an aspect ratio of 4 to 3, not a projection ratio of 16:9, but you want an aspect ratio of 4:3. And then also make sure that once you have all this hardware connected, then it's real easy to hang the projector. But it's real important, don't try to connect all this hardware up top. Do that down below, and then the last piece will be for you simply to slide the projector onto the projector mount kit itself. So it's much easier to work with this on a bench or a desk, get this set up, configured, and then raise it up and simply put it in place. Again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. Our simulator series really comprises 3 videos. You have the video, assembly video for the simulator series itself, then you have the projector mount kit video, and then you have the PDS Plus video, which is this video here. So 3 videos comprise the assembly of your simulator series. Start with your simulator series video, move on to the projector mount kit video, and then this should be the last video that you actually watch. Thank you so much again. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Take care.